Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. If you don't mind, subscribe. And speaking of subscribing, I want to thank all my brand new subscribers. Now, I picked up several in the past few days and I really appreciate you. I really do. Well, it's November 1, I think. I have a hard time with days. What I have got planned. Uh, my son, he's running for Prince of the 4th grade in his school. And he really wants to be Prince, which I'm surprised. But he's eager for it. And well, Grace and I will support him and do everything we can to make it happen. But we're not going to do the dumb thing. We ain't taking our money and just throwing it down just so he can get it. We're not going to do that. We're going to do it, hopefully we call it legit. Let him raise the funds, which he's went around the community on his way, taking his little envelopes, and he's done pretty good so far. Not big money. I think he's raised around 2,000 pesos, roughly $40. Now, the last time this happened, the school used those funds to cover their multi-purpose area for their flag ceremony and their other events that they have, and which was badly needed. And I was glad to support that. Now, we put some funds into it at that time. He didn't win, but that's okay. Yeah. The ideal of it is he is being, what would you call that? Not so shy. He's willing to get out in front of people and not be shy. And that's what our goal is. We want him to be able to be successful in life, and being shy, well, it's not the way of doing it. Now, this time around, the school is really wanting to raise the funds to paint the school. Which, it's in need of it. It's starting to show its age, and I can understand why. You know, if you got a bright, happy school, your students have a tendency to be more eager to learn. So that's the principle behind it. And I wish, if I could, I'd go ahead and buy all the paint. But that's a lot of paint. Probably looking at, I don't know, probably a couple $1,000s worth of paint. More likely, of decent grade paint. And of course, all these schools have a specific color too. So that's another thing too. But hopefully they get what they want, and hopefully they can acquire this. I'm sure what they'll do is they wait till the end of the school year before they start their project, if they have the funding available. Now, as y'all are well aware of, Grace and I have done a couple of projects at school. Now, one was the CR bathroom. We did do one, and it kept them from walking, I don't know, close to the length of the football field to the bathroom that had no water. And we provided a CR with water so they can wash their hands and and don't have to travel through the rain and sunshine to use the bathroom. So, and that's less chance of a child getting their attention to something else, maybe not even come back to class. And another thing I like to talk about too is YouTube. It's been over a year that my channel's been, let's say, active. And I'm not hit the requirements to be monitorized, and which is okay. Now, my goal is to finally get there, and when I do, and the revenue does start coming in, if it ever happens, that's going to help with some of the projects here at home, our community, school. Those funds will be used for those purposes, mainly the community. I will divert some of the funds to some of my projects here too, which is only fair in my outlook. One is the upgrading of my solar. I'll give you an example. Hopefully I can do order my inverter for this month, because yesterday, for no reason, my inverter shut down. The power just went off, and I was in the middle of a conversation with a friend of mine, and of course when the power went off, my internet went off. And I looked things over, and I didn't see any issues. I turned the inverter back on, it came back to life. And when I went back to running full solar again, because it was sunny yesterday. But it's got me concerned. For those that's not been following my channel, that inverter runs 24/7, and I did have an issue with an electrical connection in my home during the renovation. Had a receptacle was an accident looking to happen. We discovered it during the renovation. The receptacle from our air con in our room was defective. Unknowingly it was, because the air conditioner worked and everything. We just never had any reason to unplug it. If we had it could have been a problem, because the receptacle itself had grounded out, and it was brand new when I put it in, close to over 6 years ago, almost 7. So I had to replace that receptacle because we moved the air con, and I replaced it, but it damaged my inverter. I don't have the grid side of it no longer functions. And for those not familiar with what I mean, that means I could have the inverter in automatic mode. It would switch back and forth from the grid on its own, and it's no longer capable of doing that. Also, in an extreme situation, I could charge the batteries from it. That's not going to happen there either. So the new inverter is much better. It's more wattage for one thing, and it would do the automatic mode. Even without batteries, it will function. Say if I have a problem with my batteries, I can still use the solar when the sun is shining. That's another advantage, but that's wishful thinking. But that's some of the things that's going to happen hopefully this month. Virgil's Prince thing is due on December 8th. So hopefully, I'd like to see him get it, but if he don't, it's not the end of the world. But he's the one that's going to have to put most of the effort into this and make it happen. So, folks, if you don't mind, subscribe, and I'll keep you up to date, the daily life, to an old guy here in the Philippines. What happens, this is typical life out in the province. Away from the cities, out here where the culture is actually, it's off. To me, it's just amazing. These people just amaze me at how ingenious they can be. So, so you get to see a little bit of daily life that we have, and if you don't mind, hop over to my wife's channel. It's called Pete and Grace Vlog. And it'd be nice if you do that. She has more detail of what's going on surrounding. So, folks, until next time, thank you and subscribe.